What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils. Thank you very much for tuning in with me tonight. We have Tara from VooDoo Doll Royals joining us. You guys have seen her in the chats hundreds and hundreds of times. Normally, she's snagging up some killer deals at some of these sponsor auctions lately. So you might have been outbid by her by chance. Now you'll get to put the name to the face, or the face to the name, however you want to spin that. But now you know who to blame for not winning those snakes. But I really appreciate Tara joining me tonight. We're going to have a great show. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But I do have to give a big shout out quick to Holly from Texoma Exotics, because that intro is still just so killer. Holly, I do need to send you a little video clip. Instead of that normal looking ball python, we got to jazz that up with something else. So I'm going to send you something that's exantic to put into there. I just got to get to it. Time is not my friend, even though I've been laid off. But anyway, everybody, if you need anything done logo-wise, intro, just help on your YouTube live stuff like that, any of that tech-savvy work, hit up Holly at Texoma Exotics. Also, check out her YouTube channel. She does a live, I believe it's Thursdays and Saturdays. I always forget if it's Wednesdays or Thursdays. I think it's Thursdays up. But check it out. Holly does some really awesome content, guys. So let's go ahead and bring out our guest. We'll say hi to a bunch of everybody that's in the chat tonight, and then we'll get this show rolling. What's up, Tara?
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, chat.
So everybody, you now have the face to blame now. Let's go through and say hi to some people that are here in the chat, because I appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody, hit that like button right now, please. Greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're not subbed, hit that subscribe button, because that's just what you got to do. If you want to watch this shit, you gotta support and subscribe. That's how you got to do it. But Victory Lane Exotics, Bill, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. We got Blue Zombie Morse. What's up? We've got Tara.
No, that's Scott. That's my husband.
Oh, Scott, shit. I didn't even. All right, I saw VooDoo Doll Royals. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even read beyond that. Scott, what's up? Already dropping the ball. It's been a hell of a day, folks. It's been a hell of a weekend. I'll dive into a little bit of that too, because it comes with a big tip to anybody that's just. It was a very newbie thing, and yeah, we'll dive into it then. It'll be a good learning aspect for you too, Tara, because you don't want to fall into what I had to deal with. Rob, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Empress G, Fork and Reptiles. That's a new face. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Say, Scott, tell Tara she's amazing and awesome, and that she's totally got this and will rock everyone's socks off tonight.
That's my girl, Gabby.
Well, Gabby, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's see here. Who else we got? We've got me. What's up, me? All right, John. We got Triforce in the house. John and Christine. What's up? That's probably John. So that means Christine must have left him out of his cage finally. So what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. Awesome, huge supporters of the channel, and they are channel sponsors, folks. So make sure you guys go check them out, please. And here is another, the man, the myth, the legend, Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons. What's up, bro? Another channel sponsor. And just like John and Christine, Nathan is like family to me as well. Nathan and John, they're my brothers. Christine's my sister. I mean, absolutely, truly family. I appreciate and love each of you. We got Nikki from Irresistible Pythons. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. They were just on Craft Brew Morphology's YouTube live yesterday. Go over there and check that out. That was a pretty good interview. Good to see you. Trevor, Ball Labs, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. All right, I gotta say, everybody's got their names now beside their name, or their YouTube name, business name. I'm loving it, folks. I'm loving it. Thank you, because I cannot keep all these names straight. It means a lot. It helps me personalize everything, and repetition, and it'll get it all in my head eventually. Benji, what's up from New Zealand? Thanks for tuning in. Bold Coast Exotics, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Thomas. Man, I have not seen you in the chat in a long time, bro. Or at least it seems like it hasn't been for a long time. Good to see you, dude. Thank you very much. Let's see here. There's Gabby now. All right, now she okay. Let's see. Barnes Family Pies. Rob, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Who else we got? Damn, we were just talking about this, man. Tom Barnhart himself. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's freaking badass. I'm not gonna lie. Tom is definitely a new face to the channel. Thank you, Tom. Hit the subscribe button, dude, because you might be getting a hit up now to come on to a live here at some point. You can thank Tara for that one. Like, point all the fingers at her. James B. More Exotics, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Matt B, what's up? We got Kent. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else we got? Kai. What's up, Kai? Lucas, Landon Royals, another channel sponsor. Thank you very much for tuning in. Villanova, Alfonso. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. And that catches us up. Oh, wait. We have last week's guest, Jim from Straight Blast Pythons. What's up, dude? Thank you very much for tuning in, bro. Definitely everybody go back and check that live out if you haven't.
It was a good live.
It was a good live. And I don't know if that was Jim's first live, but it was definitely awesome to have him on because I've met him at shows several times, kind of like having you on, seen you at shows. You know, you're a channel member. Jim's not a channel member yet. Maybe he'll join in. Who knows? We'll see. But all right, Tom, you're the man. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Tom subscribed. Greg, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Another channel member as well. And hope that Carpet Python's doing good and not killing you. I know my babies here are doing fantastic. As you can see, I've got Xena right there. He's out cruising around. I know if you're new to the channel, Xena's a girl's name. That's not a girl. But you can't rename it. Like, you can't rename him. Like, he's kind of got that reputation and nothing else kind of sticks. But everybody, if you are in the market for a carpet python, there will be 2 big clutches coming up. I will tell you that much now. There will be 2 big clutches of jungle carpets to go out to whoever wants them. So stay tuned for that. All right, Greg says he's doing cool as a cucumber. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So let's go ahead and run our first channel sponsor real quick, and we'll dive into this, Tara. Gettysburg Reptile Expo, LLC is located at the All-Star Event Complex in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's a 45,000 square foot venue with 125 plus vendors and top quality breeders, along with 270 plus tables. If you're looking for a python, boa, colubrid, gecko, lizard, or amphibian, you've come to the right place. Doesn't matter if you're a breeder looking for that missing piece to your project or a pet owner looking for your next scaly friend, Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC has you covered. Need an incubator or rack system? They have you covered with sea serpents set up there to meet all your needs. The next show dates are November 11th of 2023, March 23rd, and July 20th of 2024. Show times are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure to check them out on their website, Instagram, and Facebook. Mark your calendars because this is one show you don't want to miss. So I'll see you at Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC. Make sure everybody go out to the show. That show will be here before we know it. It's definitely probably one of my most anticipated shows. I just enjoy the atmosphere. We are going to be doing something a little bit different, though. We're going to try it out. We'll see how it works. Since I do not have a whole lot for sale, got some really nice stuff that I'm bringing. But since I don't exactly have a full huge display, we're going to try to do some like live interviews and stuff during the show. We're going to try to see how it all works with Wi-Fi connections and all that stuff. So we will be going live from Gettysburg, folks. So March 23rd, make sure you guys are there and be ready. That actually might just be the live for that weekend. You know, that way I have Sunday just to kind of recoup. Because having the show Saturday, show Saturday, and then doing live on Sunday, it's a lot. It's a lot. It wears on you. Will, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Will says there's no auction, right? I'll have to hide. Well, yeah, you can keep your money safe tonight, dude. Your money is safe tonight. So Tara, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into all this. What in the world made you decide you wanted to breed these things?
So ever since I was young, I've been an animal lover. Doesn't really matter what kind of animal. I had an iguana when I was in the 12th grade, 6th grade, 12 years old. My parents made me make honor roll all 4 marking periods just so I could have one.
Oh, shit.
Love that damn thing to death. But that was back in the, mid early 90s. So, not a whole lot. They were wild caught. It ended up having mites and parasites, and it died at about 4 foot.
That's decent size. I mean, I don't know how big iguanas fully get. I think they get pretty big though, from what I've seen. But...
about 7.
Okay, so it was about halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
A little over half.
Yeah, he was awesome. At least I'm assuming it was a he. We never actually,
That was before the days of really caring at that point.
But I've always loved reptiles. People used to come into the school all the time and, hey, look at, we have this snake and these lizards. And as a teenager, I got a job working at a pet store, spent all my money bringing home agamas and anoles and, water dragons. My mom would never, ever let me have a snake. It was always, you're not bringing that thing into my house. You're not bringing that thing into my house. So I had to kind of put that on the back burner. And for a long time, it was just, okay, I'm just not going to ever have a snake. I really want one, but I'm never going to have one. One of the people that I hung out with in high school, he actually had a ball python named Bob. And I fell in love with ball pythons. But still, at that point, I was still living with my parents and, going to college and all, so I still couldn't have one. Then I got out on my own. Crested geckos were kind of the in thing when I got really into reptiles, so I went the crested route for a little while. Then I had some life situations and some health problems, and I had to let them go. They all went to really good homes, good people. That's actually the first time I ever saw Tom was 15 to 17 years ago. I went to a Hamburg show and he happened to be there, and it was just one of the tables I walked by and I saw his snake, some of the snakes he had, and I was just blown away by the way they look. So in mental note in my head, hey, if I ever decided to get a ball python, because after seeing Bob, I had fallen in love with ball pythons. I was like, mental note to myself, I want one like this. This is what I really like. This is what I want. And then years later, I ran into Scott, who is now my husband, and he's a big snake guy. The very first snake we ever brought into our home, his name is Lucky. He was taken into an exotic rescue that from our company we work with, we take and donate food to them. And we get to go out and we get to see, what they have and just kind of look around when we drop the food off. So he found Lucky. He's 20 years old. He is about 9 feet. And he is just a normal, boa imperator. But he's a good guy. And they ended up losing their reptile keeper due to whatever circumstances. So they were trying to rehome as many of their reptiles as they could that could legally be allowed to be, adopted out. So we brought home Lucky. He's actually over in a tank beside me here. And he is the best boy. So he's the first one. We got him in September of 2019.
Okay.
In the process of looking for rats to feed to him, we got tired of driving an hour away. And then the store we were going to possibly didn't have them. We'd get all the way up there.
That's the worst. And
they'd be like, oh, well, we're sold out of that size. Well, he's a big snake. We can't exactly give him a wean. So we did some looking around, and we actually found a a small business. They're a father and son. They're called Mountain State Feeder Breeders. I'm actually repping their shirt right now.
Okay.
They are out of Hedgesville, West Virginia, and they do rat deliveries to Hagerstown, PA, and Virginia. They're really good people, and we started getting our rats from them. And I saw some of the snakes that they had at one of the shows we went to, and I fell in love with a banana. So I said, hey, I want to get one of these snakes. And that's when I brought my first ball python into our house. And then it was like potato chips after that. Every time we went to a show and I'd see one of their snakes, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to bring this one home. And I'd bring this one home. And finally we were, me and Tyler, we were talking, and he's like, why don't you just start breeding them? And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That's, I breed dwarf rats. So, they don't make great snake food, but, they're great pets. And I really like genetics and how their genetics work. So he thought it might, interest me, the genetics of the snake. Yeah. So, I got very interested. He told me about Morph Market, and I started going on Morph Market, staying up till 3:00 in the morning on Morph Market, and looking at, this snake and that snake and the genetics of it, and, what made it look this way, what morphs made it look that way. And I got hooked. And then we brought a female in from a local show, probably 6 months to a year after we brought in our first 2 male ball pythons. And I was like, said to my husband, I said, I want to breed ball pythons. And he just kind of looked at me like, you want to breed ball pythons? I said, yeah, I want to breed ball pythons. He was like, okay, we can do this. So we started collecting, and that's, ultimately we met Tom through our collecting. We have quite the number of Barnhart Black Pastel in our collection. We also have quite a few bananas from Tom. We're actually picking up in March. We are picking up 2 more snakes from Tom. Okay. So as well as 5 snakes from the auction, from the Kai auction.
Yeah, we gotta talk. All right, since you brought that up, we gotta talk briefly on that one. What in the world were you thinking buying into this VPI Xanthic stuff? I thought I taught you better, Tara.
All right, so Kai, if you're in chat, you promised me when this day came you were going to have my back, buddy. VPI is it's a little more popular, so it is a little easier to find.
It's easier to move to, which I get. I have to give everybody shit. I really, the second when because all right, I'm not gonna lie, I was this close to throwing a bid out on that, and I didn't because I thought it's like, no, if the second I do, I will never hear the end of it from my whole group. I will never live that moment down. So I just didn't do it because I remotely thought that maybe I'll work both. And then when you jumped in, I was like, okay, I'm good. Nope, we're not.
So what you may not know is prior to your auction with Kai and me jumping on those snakes, I actually was on the holdback rack auction and bid on 2 of the VPI snakes Kai had on that auction.
So I missed out on that one.
So I figured, why not add to the collection, since I already had won some VPIs, let's get some more that have VPI.
I just had to give you crap, especially since that was the perfect moment for me to slip in there on that one. Nathan said to ignore me. He also said I'm nuts. I technically probably am slightly nuts, but I think Nathan, I think anybody in their quote unquote right frame of mind would agree that all of us are slightly nuts for the fact that we have hundreds of snakes.
No, I don't have that many yet.
Oh, it will happen, Tara. I hit about that 100 point, and then I start going back down because of selling the babies.
We're at 55, and once we pick up the ones from Kai, we will be at 60.
Okay. Balls Deep Reptiles, Chris, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Barnes Family Pie says MJ. Nathan says, just tell him you don't like brown or yellowish snakes. Yeah, I don't know if any like that. I think it's just something with my pastel line. Like it somehow shows through on Exantic, and it kind of gives it like a yellow tint or hue. I can't explain because Exantic should wipe out all the yellow pigment. I don't get it. It's a cool look, but I don't know. It's not. It's weird. It's different. I don't know. We're working around that though. We're working around that. There was something I missed, and the chat went crazy here. I stirred a hornet's nest. Let's see. I thought it was. Kai says I'm in denial. John's there backing Nathan up on that one. Man, I tell you what, brotherly love is harsh.
Do you have any siblings? You should know that if you have siblings.
Oh, I have a much older brother. I say much older. He's 6 years older than me. But we were always different paths. We didn't do a whole lot together as kids. He was 6 years, that's a big age gap. So by the time it was we were just two totally different people. I liked being outside and doing stuff outside. He was more of the inside, let's play our video games and study. And he's a doctor and I'm an excavator / snake breeder. So I guess one could decide who took the better path. I don't know.
So to be fair, I can't knock you for brown snakes because my favorite morph is banana. And what do? They turn yellow and brown.
You got the wrong banana, girl. My banana turned pink and lavender.
I was going to say, it's not really brown. I call it brown because it's not purple. And when I say purple, I mean, I want to see purple.
Pinky lavender with some nice orange and cream.
That is beautiful.
That's a GHI Mojave banana. She's actually breeding this year too. So we should get a clutch from that.
And I know you're coming.
Nope. I was gonna say I don't work a lot of banana, but I found that sweet spot of the combos I like with it, and that GHI Mojave stuff is really where I think it really shines because it keeps those lavenders and those purples.
I like the Barnhart Black Pastel because when you look at them, even once they get older, they are still gorgeous. The purples, the oranges, the yellows. Mwah.
Well, all right. I think you sent me a picture of one. Do you have that one available to show off? Because I thought the color on that was rather badass.
Not at the moment. We are actually not picking them up until March.
Okay. That's one of the ones you have to pick up. Okay.
But I do have the smaller boy that I showed you that has the really vibrant colors to him.
Okay.
I can grab him if you want.
Yeah, go get him quick and show him off real quick while we're on this whole banana thing once. Kai says he's a fan of Barnhart too. I got to get some Barnhart Black Pastel in the collection. Go and work that into some. This is probably going to hurt somebody. This might hurt Tom's feelings, but work it into some Exantic stuff. Yeah, see, that's beautiful. That purple's just nuts. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, they just look amazing with the Barnhart in them.
And look at those oranges too. Wow, that's a beautiful snake, Tara.
Thank you. He's actually my favorite snake.
Partially probably because it came from Tom.
Absolutely.
Scott says you look so much better than that. That's the one thing I hate about snakes on lives or trying to even capture them on camera. Like even like just doing the video work for the channel. Like what you guys get to see is not what I visually see because the camera just never gets the colors right. It either over exaggerates it or dumbs them down, and they never look their true beauty.
And
So
that guy shines. I mean, he almost glows in person.
okay. Scott says that looked nothing like him in person.
Yeah, in person, he glows. As soon as you open that tub, he is just, it pops right in your face. It's like the oranges, the purples, it's insane.
Okay. Now, when, like, at what point did you decide, all right, we're going to get serious about this. We're going to come up with a business name and really dive into, we're going to be breeders. Let's get the business name and lay out that whole business plan, I guess you could say.
So I'd say it was probably about July of last year is when I really decided that I wanted to get serious. So I've been doing warehouse work for 20 years. I spent 11 years at FedEx Ground pulling 150-pound ICs, which are incompatibles, things that can't go upstairs because they're too heavy or they're oddly shaped, off of a conveyor belt. And then after I left there, I moved right into another warehouse where I was lifting 40-pound, 50-pound bags of dog food all day. I don't do those heavy amounts anymore, but I'm still in a warehouse. I'm consistently working, which is great because it keeps me healthy, it keeps me active. But my body's getting to the point where I have messed up shoulder, messed up knees, my back kills me all the time. It's just getting to a point where I'm not going to be able to do warehouse work the rest of my life. And I wanted to get into something that I enjoy, something that I love. And all of our snakes are pets. They all have names. They will always be with us. It's, I understand it's a business and that at, points in time, things will have to be moved to another, person for the future of that snake and to help that person out if they're just getting in. We don't have anything super high end at the moment. So most of what we have currently, if it were to leave us, it would go to somebody else who was just getting into snakes. We do have 33 different genes amongst the 55 snakes that we have. We have quite a few recessives. We have 4 that are 66% het for puzzle, and they are het hypo. So we're going to be sending those shed tests out to see which ones are actually, in fact, puzzle. So that's, going to be a really nice thing for us. We also have, most of what we have is het something, whether it be clown, pied, or hypo. Those are the 3 main recessives that we're in. So I just decided that, this is what I want to be my retirement plan, I guess is the best way to say it. Nowadays it's hard to retire and try to supplement with the way the economy is. So, most people who retire right now, they have to take another job unless they've had, their 401k has been saved up or they had a retirement plan. Most people have to have an income even after they retire just to make ends meet. So I'm thinking future wise, where it might actually be to the point where you have to have almost a full-time job once you retire in, the next 10 to 15 years. So I wanted to do something that I enjoy, something I love, that I'm passionate about. And what better project and, business to work in than snakes? I love these guys. I come up here after work. I open up tubs just to see how everybody's doing. I talk to them. He gets on me all the time. Who are you talking to? The snakes. open up, hey, buddy, you look great today. Or I'll open up one and somebody's got an attitude. Missy, don't give me that attitude. So they calm me in a way after getting home from, constantly moving. It's hard at the end of the day to wind down. And
Yeah.
I can come up here and I can check on people, see who needs water, see who might need a poop or a urate removed. And it calms me to be up here, and it gives me a routine to follow after work that isn't just pack, 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 move boxes, move boxes. So I really enjoy these guys. They've helped me out a lot. I have ADHD, a lot of hard, concentration and stuff like that. But these guys, they have taught me some focus, because you have to. You can't come home and be like, oh, I don't feel like working with these today, so I'm going to let them go. You can't do that. These guys need you just as much as a baby or a child would need you. And to have that when I come home and see how they're thriving and how much they, come up to the front and like, hey, mom's home, and, pick me up and pick me up. And I have one every day when I come home. He's actually he's our first snake, ball python, and he's downstairs, not with the rest of these guys. I plan on using him when we start vending. I want to use him as our handle snake for the kids and everybody to handle.
Yep.
So he is completely separate. Yeah. So he is completely separate from the rest of our breeding program. I don't want, if people are touching him and stuff, I don't want him anywhere near our other snakes that, are being held back and are our breeders, just to keep, everybody safe.
I agree with that 100%. I know the one show I think it was the first Bloomsburg show. Dom was with me at that one, and Dom wanted to get out one of the snakes, and I was like, fine, whatever, And he got it out, and he was holding it. Of course, people see snakes, and then everybody basically floods over to you, and everybody wants to touch and hold it. And it kind of got to the point where I told him, Dom, I was like, put the damn snake away, dude. Like, it's okay if you want to spend some QT, with it, but it's like, do it at home. You've got this. You can go downstairs and hold these things. Whatever you do, I will not argue with you or yell at you for wanting to work with them and socialize and get involved with it. And he didn't think about the fact of, you don't know if these people have other animals. You don't know what other animals they've been holding or touching. And I told him, if it could be as simple as one little disease, and it can go through and wipe out the whole collection, and then you're stuck there going, what the hell? So after explaining that to him, he goes, okay, I get it. Put the snake away. And then if he did go to hold one, he sat down behind the table, kind of hit it, and said, all right, you're good. But that was always kind of a fear of mine. I know I would like to do like educational programs at some point. I don't know if I'd go as far as maybe the birthday party route. I don't know. I kind of take a page out of Brian Gundy's book on that one, I guess. Kind of go, because at some point I want this to be everything that I do. I want the breeding of the snakes, the YouTube. I'll probably end up, as much as I hate to say it, and Chris and Nathan, all them guys are going to probably cheer for joy, but I'll probably at some point start breeding rats. It would just be another, revenue stream to be able to do what I like, be kind of my own boss, make my own schedule, but at the same time, educate and bring more people into the hobby as well. Jim says the snakes are great for mental health and discipline for sure. Yes, I think that's one thing a lot of people don't realize, is that they are very, very calming, soothing creatures. Mitzi, what's up? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in here for a little while, girl. Thanks for tuning in. Now, I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
I hate it when I do that. It's been one of them days. All right. So anyway, back to our topic with you deciding to make a go of this. So keep on rolling with it, Tara. Before I kind of took the conversation from you.
Oh, it's okay. I actually forgot where I left off.
All right. Well, here let's dive into the logo then, because you've got a really cool, unique logo. Where in the world did you come up with the logo, the design, the name? What was the inspiration with all of that?
As I said, I did a lot of research before we decided to go the breeding route. And I'm one of those people, if I like something, I will read anything about it and everything about it. I will watch YouTube videos. I will watch documentaries. Doesn't matter what it is, I will delve into the depths of everything just to learn about it. I'm one of those
Yeah.
people, I believe, there's always more to learn. So one of the first things I learned was, where they come from. And I was like, oh, well, this is interesting that they come from, Togo and Ghana. And in these places, their religion is voodoo. They even have a temple that is, for ball pythons, that they bring the
Yep.
ball pythons in. And so I was like, I want to keep it to some of the heritage of the ball python, because I'm, very big into the ball pythons. So I don't really think we're going to extend too much out of that. I do want to get into a few maybe other things, but I figured, okay, voodoo. And I've always been a big fan of, like kind of the dark side of things. I know you guys pick on Chris, for the little goth girl that ran up to him at the one show. But at one point in
Yes,
time, I
yes,
was
we
that
do.
I was that goth girl when I was younger. So I've always been kind of on the, darker end of things. So the voodoo fits. I did look around at a lot of like other breeders who had, different names and things, and I found that there were a few that had like voodoo this, or the spell shop that, things like that. But the ball python is, it's kind of like a rag doll. If you've ever seen a rag doll cat, the ball python, they're kind of like that rag doll cat. You can pick them up, you
Yeah.
can carry them around, you can basically do anything with them, and they're going to love you. They're going to, hang on to you. They're not going to turn around and just try to eat your face off or dart away as soon as you touch them. So okay, let's go with voodoo doll, because you know, the religion in the area they're from, they practice voodoo. They're like a doll. And then royals, because obviously they're called royal pythons. And I
Yeah.
fit it together. And the mascot on our logo is a banana who looks like a doll. And then we have little pins, for the voodoo doll in the name. But I love bananas. We work with a lot of bananas. The majority of actually what we have is banana.
Okay.
So in some, combo or another, there's banana in the majority of what we have. So I wanted that to portray that, I love the bananas. I'm all about bananas. So I went ahead and drew up our logo, and I like to draw. I actually have a associate's degree in graphic design, and I have a bachelor's degree in business management. So,
Okay.
it kind of helps out to have both of those things.
Oh, I bet
And
it does.
the logo, it's not as clean. The image of the snake is not as clean because I don't want it to be. Because honestly, a voodoo doll is thrown together from a lot of random bits and pieces. It's not perfectly made. It's not something that is completely, everybody makes it. It is manufactured, sitting down, being sent down a line. A voodoo
Yeah.
doll is crafted, and it takes quality and patience and time to craft a voodoo doll. So you look at ball pythons, it takes patience. It takes having good quality in your animals, and it takes the time that you put into them to be able to make and craft or hatch, what have you, you know, these gorgeous animals. You can't rush this. This is not a short-term game. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. You're not
Yep.
looking, what am I going to be making, the money I'm going to be making off of these animals next year? It is, what am I going to be making 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road?
Yep.
It's not about pumping out all this, every Tom, Dick, and Harry does same thing, because then you're going to have a hard time rehoming it to somebody.
Yep.
If everybody's making the same thing, no, put your time into that. Craft that quality. It just makes more sense to do it that way.
And plus, what's up, Luke? Thanks for tuning in. And plus, the other thing is too, that quality will set you out above everybody else. Mm-hmm. If you some people might not see it, to the pet owner side might not really notice it, but to people that are actually looking at it and understand it and know these animals, quality does shine through on them. I mean, you can tell who is hand selecting the best of the best, because it's going to look better. You take one and sit it next to another, and it's going to stand out. And I think that's the one thing that Absolutely. A lot of people getting in need to realize, that you can't just go buy random ingredients and make
throw it together.
Exactly. Yep. It just doesn't work like that.
And that's one of the things with me. Most of what we have has been hand selected after filtering through a lot of other stuff. Me and him had a talk when we first started bringing snakes in, that we weren't just going to bring in anything and everything we could afford. We were going to look at what was out there, decide what we wanted to do, like what projects we wanted to work, where we wanted to see what we were working with go in the future. And that is how we built the collection that we have at the moment. We don't have lots of random this, random that. Everything we have in our collection serves a purpose for 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. And a lot of it, obviously, it's going to take that long to put this with this, hope to get, hope the odds gods are with you, and, you make this recessive and this double recessive, like visual, Yeah. So it wasn't just, oh, let me go buy one of these and one of those and buy this too. And, oh, hey, that guy has like 8 snakes for $300 a piece. Let's go buy those. I didn't do it that way. I was very selective about what we were bringing in.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to be that person that all of a sudden had, 200 snakes, and half of them I have no idea what I'm going to do with.
Yeah, see that I think that's what I've seen a couple of people go that route. Like, you watch them, they're buying, and meanwhile you're sitting there. It's like you try to hint out, hey, just slow down, think about this a little bit, and before you know it, they're like, all right, well, I'm done, I'm getting out. It's just like,
oh, and sad. Apparently we're in DG now, because I actually did not have a single DG animal in our collection at all.
Do you need a male?
Go ahead. Hate on me, make fun of me because I didn't get into DG. It's fine. But I like hypo. Hypo is one of my absolute favorite recessives. It was, one of the first recessives we got, happened to be a hypo and clown, but was one of the first recessives we got was a visual hypo. He's got a bunch of other stuff in him too. He's actually a 5 gene animal. So, and he's 66% het for clown. So that helps too. But, I really liked hypo, and I was like, well, I have hypo and I like the way hypo looks. DG can wait, if ever. And, I always wanted to get into Xanthic. It is a very nice project to get into. So Kai, helped us get into that with his auction. And
you bastard.
the one set that we bought from him off of your auction also happens to be Het DG. So I guess we're in DG now.
And see, that's not a, DG was once such a king. I'm gonna put it that way. DG was once that one gene that everybody wanted. Then the whole DG A, B, C through Z thing came out, and then the ship started sinking. Everybody started abandoning ship. I will say this though, and Jim nailed it. Jim, tell you what, right there, lace. I think. I mean, I'm in deep on the DG stuff, so don't get me wrong, folks. I love my DG, but lace is something where you can see it with one copy. You really see it with that second copy. And as adults, I think most of us have probably seen the video from Justin comparing the adult white lace to the DG. And I forget who. I know I said it in the group chat on our PA breeder thing, but I really think that adult white lace looked better than the adult DG. That being said, so you probably picked a better time to get into the DG thing, since now you're not paying that
exorbitant price.
That outrageous price that really hits the old pocketbook really hard there, and it's more of where it needs to be now. It's a great gene. Like I said, I work it. I love it. I love lace though too. I'm anxious to see where the lace thing goes, because I think that's really going to start booming here at some point soon. I think it's getting a lot of traction as it is. Nathan says, yeah, lace is okay. Waiting to see that lace bang, Nathan. Lace bang, that thing, or the white lace bang. That's going to be even better. Will says, lace all day, every day over bright yellow blade. Oh, man. But no, see, DG is a good project to be into. Even, like I said, it's probably better off that you got into it now, because now you didn't pay those outrageous prices on it. Let's go ahead and run another sponsor video here real quick, because we got to keep saying thanks to all of our sponsors, because we've got a bunch of them, folks. They're all up above there. Look at them all.
Absolutely.
So let's run another sponsor video. Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Make sure you check out Chris at S Reptilia. If you're looking for a ball python, boa, colubrid, blood python, he is the guy to go to. He's also a rat breeder on the eastern side of PA, and he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper, which is by far the best cocoa substrate on the market today. So make sure you go ahead and check him out. Check them out, guys. Please, 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 and let them know that I sent you. Nathan says, first prelay for 2024 is coming this week. Dude, man, you got to pick up the pace, bro. Tell you what, I've got clutch one in the incubator. Like, we are off and freaking running. Now, bringing that up, though, Tara, do you have a small generator of some sorts?
A generator? No.
Okay. I will send you the same link that Nathan sent me. And here's exactly why. All right, we've got clutch one in the incubator. Everybody, if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it to see how many eggs we got and all that good stuff. But the pairing is probably one of the most anticipated pairings of the year. It was a Batman, possible red stripe to our pastel TSK Exantic. Nathan says his steaks are slackers. Man, you gotta put that drive into them, dude. Just get that baby powder out and start threatening, man. I'm telling you. Just anyway. So very important clutch, big clutch too. Big clutch. The biggest clutch I've ever had to date. And a couple days into incubation, I guess it would have been, was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. Thursday night, the power went out at some point. I woke up. It's like, shit. Like, my backup has always been the wood stove. Lose heat, fire the wood stove up, because that wood stove cranks out some heat like freaking crazy. And probably, no issues. If you just open up that door to the incubator, that'll suffice until the power comes back on. Well, let me tell you, folks, that only works if you're awake when the power goes off. And then you're playing catch up from there, because then you got to try to get that wood stove hot. Then it's a bad slope to be on. And I woke up, first thing I did was came down, checked on the eggs, and got the temp gun out, shot them, and they were at 78. Mind you, I about lost my shit at that point. I put a thing up in the group chat, just trying to brainstorm ideas. What can I do temporarily just until I go out, get a generator of some sort. And Nathan calls me up and talks to me for a couple minutes, sends me a link for this, what I consider fairly inexpensive but good quality generator. It was like $500. So I went out, bought the thing, got it all set up. Lo and behold, I got it into position because I have to run it from where I bring my wood in at the basement. Then I'd have to run a cord out to it. So I got it where I needed to have it. It's really small. I mean, you can carry it, not big. Walked inside the house to get the power cord, and the lights and everything else were on. So, if I just would have had the generator, I could have saved, a lot of time, a lot of hassle. Now, here's the big thing. And this is like, one, everybody, if you're new or if you don't have a generator, get a generator. That's the key tip number one. But two, and we're going to see how this works because only Tom is going to prove out on this one. You can't just start your temps back up where they need to be. It is a painful freaking process. Looking at that thermostat, hearing it beep, and that it's, say, starting out at 78 and only raising it 1 or 2 degrees every hour until you get up to that, your desired temp. And I have my incubator set at 89.8. So that way it keeps you right around that 89 to 90 for a consistent temp. So yes, Carissa, Bohemian Exotics, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. But yes, the generator is a must. That was like the most painful thing ever, because coming down here and only bumping them in a degree or two every hour until I got up to that point. It was 10 or 11 o'clock till I finally put that last thing in there. So we will see how this works out. So this was a learning curve. This was a terrible, terrible clutch. Not that any clutch would be a good clutch to do this on, but this was not the clutch for this to happen on.
It's always the clutch you don't want it to happen on.
I just I've checked on them. They seem like they're fine. There's nothing goofy going on. Nothing growing, nothing smelling yet. So I'm hopeful. But again, time will tell. Hopefully, bringing them up slowly. Hopefully, because I'm thinking, if you watch that video with Dave Kaufman, he was saying how, the females will go up, sun a little bit, get warmed up, and then they'll go back down to the eggs. Whether or not they really do that, who knows? But I guess from what he's claiming that they do, so who am I to dispute that? But I'm thinking, there's going to be some temperature drop during that time. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully that slow temperature rise saved them. I know I was told by everybody in the group chat, especially John and Christine and Nathan, do not just jack the temps up and cause a huge spike, because that will just basically, you just crucified the eggs at that point, and they're done with that giant spike like that. So there you go, everybody. Hopefully you've learned something from the show tonight. So yeah, I will send you that link, Tara. Actually, I'll put that in the channel members thing. Like I said, it was really cheap, really nice. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room, but it would be good just to have that for when you do get that clutch, because you've got a clutch coming up, don't you?
Hopefully. We've had 3 pairings going since November.
Okay.
So we'll see. Hopefully, what I'm hoping for is I have a very large het clown female, and I have been pairing her to he is a pastel Enchi banana het clown. So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
het to het pairing, so it could go either way. I'm kind of really hoping to hit on a banana Enchi clown, but we'll see how that goes. The other two pairings I have are actually dinker projects that I'm working on, and if they go great, if not, I'll try again next year. The
Okay.
females, they're right at that 1,500 mark, so they may go this year. They may decide they don't even want to bother, and I might have to wait another year, maybe two. So
Gotcha.
I can be hopeful, but with first time girls, there's no guarantee that they're
Uh,
actually going to take. So
for the most part, I mean, most of my first year females did go. So you might have good luck with that. I mean, now that everything has gotten to where it's at for me, I'm not as like, say December we start breeding season. Now it's like I've got females throughout the whole year that are at different stages. So an ultrasound might be another thing. I don't know if you have one yet. Grab that.
nope, I'm planning on getting one though, because everybody has tried to explain to me different ways to feel for follicles and feel for eggs and things, and I I'm not very good at this right now. The popping, to actually, pop them and see if they're male or female. I have pretty long nails, and my nails grow at a very rapid rate. So I'm always afraid when I'm trying to, pop one to see if I can
Oh,
get it to work. I'm afraid I'm going to, cut or clip somebody in the wrong spot.
well, that's a female now.
So, I think a probe kit is probably going to be my better option than my dagger like fingernails.
A probe kit, I think everybody should have anyway.
So
Because
I have one on the
I've
way.
okay, and so I've had a few that were a little bit tough pops. So the probe kit, put a little salve or Vaseline on there, and you're good to
Hmm.
go. Um, I think everybody should have that. But yes, the
Hmm.
ultrasound is a must. Get the ultrasound because, like I said, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know that some of my girls don't go till middle of the freaking years when they actually start ramping up for, building. So it's a very handy tool because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be breeding in July.
Hmm.
So most people, I think, let's see, they're probably most people probably end around March, April, somewhere in there, I would say, for the stereotypical breeding season. Um,
Hmm.
but the ultrasound definitely helps you find those girls that are way off from the quote unquote norm.
Hmm. I am pretty sure that our het clown girl is gravid. Tom actually had pointed out a few tips for looking at the female and noticing like the pyramiding and holding them
Yep.
up, and if they can't really pull the back half of their body up well, those are general indicators when you've been pairing and they do look a little thicker than normal. So he's been a really big help with this whole process. And
Okay.
thank you, Tom, if you're still watching. We greatly appreciate your help. You've been an
Listen, that's
inspiration.
actually, I never thought about the whole holding them up and if like that back half, if that doesn't really want to work like it should. I never thought of that, but yeah, that does make sense. I know the big thing that I learned, like with palpating, the paper towel method. Paper towel and thumb on top of the spine and put your finger the whole way across their stomach. And
Mhm.
you can even start like halfway at their body and just work down. And you'll start, if they have follicles of any size, you will feel them. It will feel totally different than the rest of the steak because it'll be like a bump, 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 very consistent, like you're going over
Okay.
marbles. So, uh, That's another little method that I used to do before I got the ultrasound. Now I got lazy with it, and we just throw the jelly on the probe and just start checking them out. Kike, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Let's see here. Everybody, also don't forget, if you guys have any questions for Tara, feel free to drop them. We've got a bunch of other topics to go over yet, but if you guys have something you want to ask, feel free. So who were some of your mentors? God, I'm really bad tonight, folks. I apologize. Who were some of your main mentors? Save Tom for last, but were there anybody else that was very good mentors for you?
So Mike and Tyler from Mountain State, they have been a very big help, getting us started. Ty is definitely very good with answering any of the random questions I had to start off with. And still to this day, as with Tom, if I have questions, I can hit up either one of them and they'll, give me an answer. Might not always be an answer I can understand, and then somebody has to explain it to me, but it's a learning process.
It is.
Ozzy was another big one for me. I watched a lot of his like videos and things like that, listened to a lot of podcasts. I have gone back and watched every one. I have gone back and watched every one of your videos to see, what you had to say about this or what you had to say about that. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, different people. The Whole Back Rack is another podcast that I really listen to and I kind of take a little bit from this, a little bit from that. I try out one way. And if that doesn't work for me, I try a different way.
Yep.
I don't just kind of go, oh, well, this person said this, so this is exactly how we're going to do it. I don't do it like that. I try one way that, somebody said, hey, this works. Maybe it doesn't work for me. So then I'll try a new way that somebody else mentions until I get where it works for me. I don't, not any one person's words are, absolute for me. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. Everybody in the hobby has an opinion on how things should be done. You have to find what works for you. If, so-and-so's method for this works, but their method for this doesn't work, you have to find somebody else's method that works for wherever you're, lacking in that spot. And that's just kind of what I've done. I've taken everybody's words into consideration. I've learned from all the videos I've watched, the podcasts I've listened to, and from Tom and Mike and Tyler from MFSB. So, that's how I've gotten to where I am as far as what I know, where I plan to go, with everything I do. And it's always going to be that way. I'm always going to be learning everything that I can to help me better not only my future, but the future of these reptiles that I am keeping that are in my care. And, nobody else is going to care for them but me.
Yep.
And I want them to have the best care that I can give them. Heck, we don't even give them tap water with the little drops or anything. We actually go to the store and we buy jugs upon jugs of spring water. And that is the water they get. These guys are our babies. They don't want for anything ever. Now, once we get into the thousands, if that ever happens, that might get a little but for now,
then they might start getting some. But see, all right, here's my question: are you getting like city water from like a water line, or do you have well water?
So we are actually,
big part too.
Yeah, we are actually located in the middle of Hagerstown. So we have that city water that has, fluoride and chlorine and everything else in it. I don't even give that to my dogs. I don't drink it myself. I'm sure as heck not going to give it to the snakes.
Yep. See, I think that's one thing, like for me, for instance, I live out in the middle of God's nowhere for the most part. So we've got a well. you know, that well water I think is 1,000 times better than anything that you're going to get out of a waterline pipe.
Hmm.
So I drink it. I figure, hey, if I can drink it, I'm still alive and kicking. The snakes will do just fine.
Yeah, I just don't trust the city with
No,
my
no, I
snake's
don't blame you
water
on that
need,
one.
or my own for that matter.
No, I don't blame you on that one at all. Now, there is one tip though. I gotta say, there's one tip, everybody, that there's no arguing that it does not work, and that is the gift of Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo, there you cannot argue Yoo-hoo's magical powers, everyone.
Nope,
As it,
I won't argue it.
there's no explaining it. I mean, let's just face it, it's chocolate water, but there's magic in it. It's got to be the. Although, all right, I know that there is the slight debate: box over can. There is that debate. Some of my best shows have been from cans of Yoo-hoo, not the boxes of Yoo-hoo. But anyway, Yoo-hoo, everybody, you go to a show, you gotta bring the Yoo-hoo. And sadly, Tara, I'm all out of that case of Yoo-hoo that you guys brought me at Gettysburg. But the last show that I was drinking that was probably one of my best shows I've ever had.
Hey, that's
So
great. Guess
thank you.
what? I'll be bringing more Yoo-hoo to March Gettysburg.
Yes, I love it. Danny, I'll share with you, dude. I will share with you, bro.
But I
Danny's the
guess,
one I learned about the magic of Yoo-hoo.
yeah, but see, Danny prefers the box.
He does. He does.
You
But you
don't
know what?
you don't get as much from the box. The cans have more in them.
You're right. And let's face it, Danny, free magical Yoo-hoo is better than paid magical Yoo-hoo. Danny, I love you, bro. Hopefully you do watch this on the replay to this point. But yeah, see, Chris, poor Chris, like there are every once in a while there is a bad can of Yoo-hoo or a
Hmm.
box of Yoo-hoo, and it does not have the magical properties. Poor Chris here has been the bearer of the bad can and box. I felt really bad for him. Everybody, this is like a life or death type of thing here, basically. But it is that controversial that when I asked John to pick, John from Triforce wanted a thing of Yoo-hoo, and I told him because the last time I gave him one, and he started selling snakes like freaking crazy, and it was kind of like, all right, he got the king of magic Yoo-hoo. So I made him pick which Yoo-hoo he wanted, the one in the left or the one on the right. And needless to say, he had to seek advice from like 3 or 4 other people on which box to pick because the fate. This is serious stuff, folks. Serious stuff. I'm telling you what. Nathan says there's no amount of Yoo-hoos to help Chris from Balls Deep. Oh man, the changing the water bowl only works with making snakes let. That snakes are falling. But yeah,
Yep.
changing the water bowl. If you got a snake that doesn't want to lay, change the water bowl or threaten it with baby powder. Both are acceptable things, and they normally go shortly after. Chris's free Yoo-hoo works better. Anyway, all right, we'll get serious again. We'll get serious again. Jim's Yoo-hoo is disgusting. Dude,
Oh,
I've never had Yoo-hoo up until vending shows, and I don't know. I kind of like it, Jim. I mean, and you can't argue with success. Kevin says Yoo-hoo VooDoo. Yeah, Gabby says need to vend with a Yeti cooler full. Well, see,
mhm,
you can't pop your Yoo-hoo too early. You have to do it at a precise moment of the day and space them out.
mhm.
There's a whole method to it, folks. You could do a video on it. I promise you, you could do a video on it. But what are some of the things that we'll get back onto the whole mentor thing now? We'll get serious again. What were some of the things that you learned from Tom? Because I think Tom's, to me, I would think is probably one of I mean, I don't know Tom personally, but obviously the industry holds Tom in pretty high regards. The fact that, I mean, you've got his own specific line of black pastel, and people swear by it and stand behind it. So, what are some of the things you learned from Tom specifically?
One of the things that we actually had talked about is, obviously I had said about being able to, tell if a female is gravid. We also had a talk about putting your females, when you're doing your racks, putting your females at the top of your racks because it gets warmer up there. And then you keep your males toward the lower
Yep.
end of your racks because it's cooler at that spot. So your females are warmer,
Yep.
your males are a little more on the cooler side, and it actually helps, move things along. So he's been a very big inspiration to both me and my husband. My husband does talk to him quite a bit more. I'm just not super talkative. I'm very surprised you even got me on the show. So
This was not an easy feat, everybody. It took a little coaxing to get Tara to come on. A little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
And then the picture the picture you used for the thumbnail, that is that acid, that GHI acid is one of the snakes I'm holding. And I was praying the entire time, don't bite me. Please don't bite me, because we had to talk about how much she hates me.
Oh, geez. So that one does not like you very much.
No, she's my snake. I take care of her. I feed her. I clean her and all of that. She loves my husband. She absolutely despises me. As soon as I slide even the tub open this much, she's sticking her head out and looking like, is it you? And then as soon as she sees it's me, she pulls her head back in, or she strikes her head out. She does not like me at all.
Wonder what's going on with that. That's odd. That's
I don't
funny,
know.
but odd.
He can walk over, he can open the tub, he can pick her right up out of there with no problems. He'll be holding her. If I turn around and he's holding her and I go anywhere near them, her head whips in my direction immediately and she starts to tighten herself up. And I'm just like,
That's funny. That almost reminds me of the carpet that Nathan has from Infinite Possible Pythons, because his mail that he got from me. He says, "Oh, now this thing's evil." And last time I was over there, I was holding it. He's a nice snake. I don't know why Nathan thinks he wants to. I mean, okay, he has a slight issue with everybody else around him, but I thought he was rather calm, and he was fine with me. But he just seems like he's got an issue with everybody else.
Whisperer.
What's that?
You're the carpet python whisperer.
Well, he might have also been like, okay, Daddy's home now. We're okay. James says it's because Scott is a cutie. Oh man, but no, I have to say, it seems like a lot of those baby carpets, not to change the subject here real quick, but a lot of those baby carpets that went out, they were nice here, but when they got to their new homes, it sounds like something like they flipped a switch and kind of became jerks for a little while. I know Kike, if you're still watching, I know I enjoy seeing his updates. He's put on a lot of work, because I know there for a little bit his turned into a spicy noodle. Oh, he said damn carpet's bipolar. We could one day bad terms. That's funny, because I even thought it's like, okay, maybe it's because I had them in my 1065 rack. I put a little bit of construction fence netting in there so that way they can act like they're perching, all that good stuff. I thought, all right, well, maybe it's because they got it put into bigger enclosures. So I bumped mine up recently. They're now in the 1050, or the 5540 rack. Sorry, they're in the 5540 rack now. So it gives them that illusion, it's all clear around them, but it's a little bit bigger. I thought, okay, they're gonna get spicy now. Mine still aren't spicy. I don't get it. Everybody else became spicy and jerks. The two I kept have been nice. Rob says it's the green walls. They leave and don't see green and freak out.
I'd believe that.
Kevin says, Jeremy, you still don't mess with those carpets at night, do you? I will not mess with Xena at night. Lagatha, if she wasn't gravid, I could pull her out now. My two holdbacks, I could get them any time of day and they're fine. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am the carpet whisperer. I don't know. Kike says, but I love my bipolar carpet. Kike, actually, his is beautiful looking. Like the yellows are coming in nice. We need to get you one there, Tara. I'm still working on her, everybody. She wants one.
I do.
Convince her about the space issue.
Well, keep in mind, we do live in an apartment. So it's basically a half a house that was cut in half. And we are fortunate enough that we have a loft area and it never gets below 80 up here. I think I've seen it at 79 when I've used the temp gun once. So it's always a nice constant. Doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, fall. It's always a constant 80 up here, which is amazing.
See, that's really nice that it stays that. I mean, that's like primo right there. I think my room gets to like 76 right now, and then in the summer it's like 78, somewhere in there. It stays a little bit on the cooler side.
I'm assuming whatever they did when they actually enclosed up here doing like the drywall and stuff, they did something right, because it is amazing up here year round.
Yeah, and it's probably, I mean, probably just insulated really well. Will says, how could Jeremy be the carpet whisperer if he's scared to get them out after 6? It's after 8, Will. After 8, okay? And it's only 1, okay, that I will not mess with after 8, because Xena knows, man. Xena knows. And Xena's about 7 foot long, and you do not want a pissed off 7 foot long jungle carpet, okay? They got some teeth. I know. I've felt them as an adult. They got teeth. Rob says, well, poor Xena, he called a girl for 3 years. Now he has an attitude. Yeah, so it might slight identity crisis, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. I was gonna say, but I mean, for the most part, I really don't mess with a whole bunch of my snakes anyway after like 8. That way, it's just kind of once they know, they get that, they just know, hey, after this point, it's it's food time if that tub opens up. And I like that. I keep that food response pretty sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I know you dove slightly into it, but let's dive into it a little bit more. What all recessives are you mainly focusing on, and where do you want to take those projects for the future? A couple years. Actually, hold on. Let's run one more channel sponsor, and then we'll dive into that, because that's going to be a long topic. So let's run another channel sponsor, so that way I don't get yelled at.
Can't find that missing piece of your breeding project? Hit up Triforce Morphs. They've been in the industry for 10 years and counting. They're working heavily with clown pieds, hypo clowns, hypopides, along with lace, citron, and the Matter project. Can't let out the fact that they have crested geckos as well. Trust, respect, and integrity. That's the Triforce way. Are you ready to take it to the next level? Then check out DTMG Pythons. Danny is best known for his awesome clown ball python projects. This year's focus is Confusion, Hurricane, and Disco Inferno clowns. He also specializes in high-end crested gecko morphs such as Exantic, Lily White, and Exantic Lily Whites, along with the Deadpool line of gargoyle geckos. Check out his morph market and Instagram, DTMG Pythons. Just buy it.
All right, I'm going to run the last one yet here, Tara, just that way we're done. We could cruise with this the rest of this show.
Lucas Landon Royals produces some truly high caliber snakes. Kai has been breeding ball pythons for 6 seasons and counting. He's working toward multi-recessive combos such as DG Clown, Hypo Clown Pied, Sunset Candy Pied, and DG Exantic Pied. He's working with several other species of snakes, but next year he's going to start breeding Boa Imperators And he also has a small group of super dwarf retics. So be on the lookout for some super dwarf cow retics. Become a royal at Lucas Landon Royals. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
Click that link, folks, to Husbandry Pro and use it. Tara, did you sign up yet? Because I didn't get a notification yet. Oh, you got to do it.
Not yet. I haven't. I plan on doing it. I just haven't done it yet.
All right. I'll let you slide on. But everybody, click that link. Give it a shot. Free 30-day trial. I guarantee you, you will love it. Saves me a bunch of time and helps keep me like just organized. That's the big thing. Organization, and you know, you go like you don't want to have a whole bunch of bins, you know, with stuff, you know, like for instance, you know, you make these nice labels, it tells you everything, you scan the QR code, helps you out at shows. That's the other big thing, you know, there's the show aspect to it. It's super helpful. Saves you time at shows, saves you time in the snake room. Try it. Click that link. It's in the description. Give it a shot. So, all right, now back to the topic I had started to tell you about. What recessives are you working in, and where do you want to take those specific projects, like specifically 5-10 years down the road? What are your goals with them?
So the recessives that we are working with currently, like I said earlier, we have hypo, pied, clown, and then we have the pos het puzzles that we are going to be sending the sheds out to find out if they're, you know, actually puzzle or if they're not. I'm also planning on getting into Orange Crush, which is it's an overlooked recessive. It's not super new, but kind of new. A lot of people aren't really working with it at this current time.
I didn't know that was a recessive though. Okay, I learned something there on that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive from what I've seen and some of the people I've talked to. It's a very impressive gene. So I'm hoping to get into that. And he wants to get into Ultramel. So that'll be another thing coming probably this year is we're going to be getting some het Ultramel stuff to work on that. He mainly does the pied. If you ask anybody who knows me, I don't like pied. I have a big vendetta against pied. Everybody seems to like pied. There are a few out there that don't. I'm one of those people. I don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it, but I have pied in the collection. I'm working the pied project to an extent. You know, it's not gonna be a big focus. I do like I like pied, but I'm not like pied isn't the one thing that really draws me. You know, it doesn't make me go, oh wow, that's
yeah.
You know, I just that's a pretty pied. You know, it's definitely not Exantic to me. You guys all know if I see an Exantic, I'm gonna probably lose my shit a little bit. You will not see me do that over a pied more than likely. There's probably you know, an Exantic pied out there. Yeah, okay, that's a different story. But pied, it wasn't one of my big focuses. I kind of just fell into that one. So anyway, continue, Tara. Sorry.
So pied's not really my thing. That's kind of his thing, and he has his own way he's going with the projects he's working. We are actually working two separate projects. You know, I work my stuff, he works his stuff, and if we do make something that we want to, you know, cross into each other's projects, then that's just a bonus for us. But
yeah,
we do, you know, we are focused on two completely separate things. My end is more the hypo and the clown as far as recessives. And then I also am a very big fan of GHI, acid, banana, obviously, and blackhead, and the Barnhart line of black pastel. Those are my big focus. And then the two recessives being the hypo and, you know, the clown. I'd like to get into cryptic at some point, but I'm going to keep that completely separate because I don't want to make kryptons. I want to have just my line of cryptics and then my line of clowns. I don't want to mix the two. It's the same reason we do not have any black pastel in our collection that isn't Barnhart line, because I don't want to mix them. I don't want to have any chance of mixing them together. I want to keep my lines pure. I want my lines to be, whoever originated them, I want to get that line. I want to work that line into all these other combinations that I would like to make. But I'm not looking to produce 100 clutches a year or 1,000 clutches a year. I want to keep it small. I want to keep my stuff very precise, and I only want to breed for quality. The quantity, I'm not worried about that. I want to be able to produce quality snakes that have an amazing look and stand out from everybody else's.
Yeah.
That's my goal. One of the things I really want to work is I want to work Blackhead, Barnhart Black Pastel, Banana, Acid, and a few other genes into one snake. And that is going to absolutely be a 5-year project for me. With what I have, the clowns, I don't have certain pieces that have multiple things. I have a few pieces that have multiple, but I don't have a bunch of them. So it is going to take some time to get, but by the end of this, I'm looking at an 8 to 9 gene animal carrying 2 recessives, possibly 3.
I think that's a great plan though. Like Acid, definitely a big top contender with me as far as genes I'm excited to be working with.
Yeah, I love my Acid.
Next year should be where Acid starts getting pumped into a lot of stuff, because my boy should be up and rocking and rolling by that point. Sadly, he's not up to size for this year, but that kind of really didn't surprise me. I didn't really have any females available. Like all my breeding stuff, like I've already got my 2020. This is 2024. So my 2025 pairings are already basically all planned out. There's not much that will change who goes to what between now and then. It's kind of like I'd like keeping that. I think that's the one benefit to having, that those long-term plans, you're planning it out ahead. You can make those plans. Okay, if something slightly changes, then you can tweak a little bit, but you have that direction, and it helps keep you focused. I know some people, not going to point out any fingers, but I know who this one person is because you're still in here probably. I asked them a couple of different times, well, what are your plans for this season? And they had no freaking idea. I'm not going to poke the bear on who it was, but you know who you were. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's important to have those long-term plans like that. It helps keep you focused. Also, how it stops you from, what I want to say, very like kind of losing your way and going in directions that you really don't want to get into.
And it's very easy to do that in, what we're doing, because you see something and, oh, hey, I really like that. And then you're picking that up. Now you've got this to work too. And then, a couple months later, you see something else and you're like, oh, I'm going to pick that up too. Now you've got another project. So then you're spreading yourself thin, trying to figure out, well, I only have this many females and I need to pair this, this male to this one. And wait, well, where do I put you? So it's really good to stay focused on certain things and not overextend yourself to the point where you, like you said, basically get lost and you don't know where you're going anymore. And that's a big thing for me.
Now, I feel everybody, I think at some point we've all made those random purchases. I'm guilty of it too. And you go a little while and you start talking with other people, and then it makes you sit down and think. Then you're like, okay, I really probably shouldn't have bought that animal. I really have no plans for it. And then that's when you just kind of adjust. If adjusting is selling that animal, so that way it funds the purchase of something that fits better. That, there's a few animals I've moved here this past year, 23 season. I swore up and down I would never get rid of, but I did because of. Now this time I will drop names because of John and Nathan, because of one of our after Gettysburg setup dinners, and we're sitting around and we got to talking about several different things, and it's like, shit. It's like, okay. It's like, it's time to, like, we got to kind of bring.
While we're waiting on him, I actually do have Calico and Sugar for S.
There we go. I don't know. I need a new mic. Super chat for a new mic. I don't know. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. But yeah, Kevin, Sugar and Calico, I agree. It does look nice in the dark stuff, especially Exantic.
I have both.
Ooh, see, I'm working. I have one Calico female. It's actually it's a where is she? She's a Calibi vanilla, I believe. So, that's basically, she's one of my last breeding spiders that I've got in the collection. It's her and one other that I'm planning on keeping the breed for a little bit, and then that's it. But yeah. So I do have Calico. I do like Calico.
I have both. I have a Hypo Calico Pastel Spot Nose Het Clown male, and then I have a beautiful, gorgeous female Sugar, and she is just the white on her is amazing, and the way it just creeps up the entire sides of her body is just beautiful. It is stunning to look at. But again, I will be keeping the Calico separated and the Sugar separated, because, like I said, I want to keep those lines.
Yep.
Those lines. I don't want to mix them up and have to go to somebody and be like, they say, oh, I really like this. Oh, well, it could be Calico, it could be Sugar. It just gets too confusing. I'd rather just know exactly what, if I'm going to be selling something, I know exactly what it is. I'm not confusing it. I'm not having to put up, asphalt / possible gravel type stuff.
Yeah. See, that's, and like, I had the one direction I wanted to go with some of my stuff was freeway stuff. And now it's like, I love freeways. I really want to hit a freeway Exantic. But at the same token, it's like, I'm really thinking like the super asphalt stuff is a lot better way to go, because, hey, now it is asphalt. There's no, it's this or that, and the uncertainties or having to pay for the testing. It just keeps everything a little bit more, I think that's the bigger thing. That, and you can stand behind your product.
And then that's important to me. A really having business management, background, and working for two different companies, a very large company and a smaller company, you learn that, if you're going to run a business, customer service is very important. Yep. You need to have a good rapport with your customers. And if you're telling your customer, hey, this is this, or it might be that, you're not sounding very knowledgeable to your, potential customer. I want to be able to stand behind my product. I want to be able to give them, that extended, what is he saying? Is he talking crap about me?
No, he's saying that you got a good head for a good plan head. She does have a good plan head for breeding.
But I want to stand behind my animals, and I want to be able to give extended customer service. And I've gotten quite a few of the people I have bought from, I've gotten that extended customer service, and you learn from that, and you learn who the really good breeders are that you want to buy from in the future, because, if you have questions, if you need something, they're going to answer you back. They're going to let you know what's going on. Versus, some breeders, bigger breeders, they tend to not be as responsive. And I understand, people get busy, everybody has a life. But at the same time, if you're selling a product and you're knowingly selling it to a person who possibly is going to already had a bunch of questions for you in the beginning, they're
Yep.
probably going to have questions for you after they purchase it.
Yep.
And you need to be able to anticipate, okay, this person knows what they're buying. I'm probably not going to have to answer as many questions for them. But this person, I'm probably going to be spending quite a bit of time with them after the snake, gets to them or they get it home. And knowing your customer base is another very important thing. Like I said, who's going to need that help and who necessarily might not. And sometimes you get stretched thin between family, your job, the customer's care, the snake's care, vending, having to put everything up on Morph Market. It's a lot. It's a lot for one person, to have to deal with. But if you're going to be successful at it, you've got to find time for all of it.
And I think that's also where it comes down to, if those people, if you're taking that extra time with those people. I've got a customer right now, basically the same thing. Bought a steak from me at a show, had a bunch of questions, walked them through everything, told them to check out the YouTube channel, because that can answer a lot of questions for them. They called me up with a whole bunch of questions. They were wondering why the animal wasn't feeding yet, and I asked them, okay, well, what are your setups, your temps? There was a lot of things that they really kind of dropped the ball on that I had stressed to them initially. So we got that set up, and then they're like, well, it's still not eating yet. And it's like, okay, well, let's go over your setup now. Went over everything and say, okay, well, this is probably the issue for this, and this is what's causing that. So it's like, I haven't heard back from them yet. If they're watching, hopefully everything's going well for you. But that's just like, you've got to stand behind your stuff. And those people that, they'll appreciate that extra time. And chances are, if they go to get another animal, they are going to come back to you because you gave them that time and attention. I think that's very important. I just shipped a steak out last week, and the person had commended me. They're like, you are very responsive. They're like, I get the message out and boom, you've got the response right back within minutes. It's like, like this, like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm here for my customers. That's what I'm trying to do. That's just how I think it, now granted, I'm currently laid off, so I've got a little bit more free time, but even when I'm working, I still try to get to them within that first hour, because I like to be very responsive on that. And normally I think I get a message back to them way before that hour even hits. Morph Market times you on your response. They do. And I think mine's within the first 15 minutes, Phil. Just saying, not bragging. I'm pretty sure mine's within the first 15 minutes. Depending what's going on, though, it might drag out to that 1 hour. But I do think my average is 15%. Kevin says 100% it creates repeat customers. I believe it does. I think that's a very important thing. Let's see here. Phil says mine is minutes. Well, Phil, you're your own boss. You can't fire yourself. I mean, come on now. You're like, sheesh, man, come on. Scott says pissed off customers don't make good repeat customers. No, they don't. I do not want to have a pissed off customer. Hopefully I don't have any. If I do, I don't know it. Will says he answers at 1 a.m. and still under 10 minutes. Okay, I do have limits, Will. I do have limits. When it's bedtime, it's bedtime. Like, you gotta wait till I wake up then. But yes, reviews matter too.
I've actually noticed if you do go on some of these Morph Market ads and you look in the seller's store policy and things, a lot of them are actually starting to state, if you reach out to me between the hours of 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., those will be answered, the following day when we are back at work or whatnot. Because sometimes you do. Sometimes somebody will message you at 2 a.m. and
Yep.
expect a message back. And it might not be 2 a.m. their time,
Yep.
but it's 2 a.m. your time and you're asleep. So you can't exactly, unless you've got your phone on as loud as can be, so you hear every ding, you might not know that they even messaged you until you wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever.
Yep.
So, I do believe in strong customer service, but I also believe that customers should be a little reasonable when they're looking at what time it is.
Yeah.
Don't message me at 2 o'clock in the morning and then 2:15 and then 2:30 and then 3, because why aren't you messaging me back? Why aren't you? Have a little common courtesy. People do sleep. People do have lives outside of, what they are doing. Not everybody, can answer back within 15 minutes.
Well, Rob's corrected me here. Rob said that apparently my actual thing is responds very responsive, usually within the first 21 minutes. So I think that's pretty damn good. Not quite 15. I'm gonna have to step my game up a little bit. 21 minutes. That's not bad, folks. That's not bad. Thank you, Rob, for doing all that homework. I appreciate it. Benji says it's 3:45 p.m. Sunday where he's at.
Nope. And
Damn.
for us, it's almost 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we're 9:45 now. I told you, Tara, this 2 hours is gonna fly by, girl. I told you. Ashley says that she is a 2 a.m. Morph Market shopper, but I wait till 6 a.m. at the earliest to message someone. What's up, Ashley? Thanks for tuning in. Ashley is another channel member. Thank you very much for all the support. I'm gonna try to get the live. See, things are getting tricky here. I wanted to do it this Friday, but we had Hudson's birthday party on Saturday, so I was stuck being on daddy duty most of the week because of carrying the party ready. So I wanted to do a member live and actually have someone come on and talk about some specific topics. I wanted to do that this Friday, but now I found out that I have a goodbye party on Sunday, which means I have to move my Sunday live to another day, and things are getting a little weird. So I'm trying to work out how to make this all happen. So we might not have a member live this week like I would like. Might be the following, but we are going to have a very nice member live coming up. So make sure you're there, Tara.
I will. I actually have a question for you, Jeremy.
Yes.
We just got past Valentine's Day. Did you get your wife anything nice for Valentine's Day?
All right. See, I have the amazingness of having a wife that has a birthday very close to Valentine's Day. So I went out and bought her, because if she wants something, she just kind of goes out and gets it. So it's one of those deals where she doesn't really need anything because she just gets it. But I went out and I got her a Starbucks coffee, a box of these things that are called peanut butter cream, but basically they're like a peanut butter cup thing from a local candy store that we have that does their own stuff. And then chocolate coated coffee beans. Got that to her. I was like, this is your birthday and Valentine's Day all in one. I love you, dear. And she was happy as a lark. Now, the better question is, what did my wife get me for Valentine's Day or my birthday? Because my birthday is only 2 days before hers. Nothing. Not even a snake.
I got a snake for Valentine's Day.
What the hell? Someone needs to talk to my wife. Go message her on Facebook and tell her you need to spoil your husband a little bit and buy him snakes.
So I got a snake for Valentine's Day, and my birthday is this coming Saturday. So we're gonna see what I get.
Birthday.
Thank you. We're gonna see what I get for my birthday. I got a really nice snake for Valentine's Day, so
Well, I will be anxious to see and hear about what you did get because I'm sure you'll post it up on Instagram.
maybe.
Maybe I think
I've
I
been
think
I've been slacking. I've been slacking on my
I,
Instagram.
I have to. I've been I've been really big with Instagram. I took the pictures of this clutch, and I wanted to post. I've been meaning to post it. I just haven't. It's just like it's not much. It's not hard work. It's not. I mean, it's easy.
It is. You
I
just
just
couple
can't.
buttons.
It's a couple of ones. It's like, well, I'd rather go do this or go do that, and I have been really slacking on the Instagram.
I am too, so you're not alone in that. I have probably about 30 pictures on my phone that all I have to do is go on Instagram and hit a couple buttons and they're up there and they're still not up there.
At least I'm not the only one. Then Phil says slacking a bit. Last few months, it's winter. See,
Mhm.
and I would say that's my excuse, Phil. But I've got that clutch of babies that hatched there in December, so I really don't have. I have no excuse other than I don't want to say I lost my drive on Instagram. I like focusing on this more. Trying to make good content, try to keep up to date content. Because if you guys haven't noticed, you're not seeing stuff months after it's happened. It's kind of like we're on the dot here a little bit. So I know you wanted to have carpet content, Tara, and I didn't know. Like, luckily, I don't want to say luckily, the clutch dropped. So it's like, okay, well, that kind of alleviates me trying to figure out what to do with carpet stuff. But what carpet video, since it's your birthday coming up, what carpet video would you like to see?
Wow. Hmm.
Putting her on the spot, folks. Putting her on the spot.
You kind of are because you actually you have carpet videos that are very informative and maybe a fun carpet video. Maybe show off a couple of carpets, talk about what you would like to do in the future with them. Because I know you
Okay.
have that one, I know you have that one really amazing looking boy that you're very excited, with
Oh,
having.
yeah.
So, I'd like to see where you plan on taking your carpets. You do talk about them a lot, but you don't really go in depth about where you want to go with them. Thank you, Exotic.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
it would be really interesting to see where you want to take your carpets. We all know where you're taking your ball pythons to Browntown,
idea.
but
Whoa. Black and white, Tara. Black and white. Come on now. Come
uh-huh.
on. You're supposed to be supportive here. Scott says get Xena out at 8:45. Type God. You know what? All right. I will say this. I have had Xena out 2 different times during lives. I don't think I got around my lives. I did it once I think I did it once for God, who was it? Was it Celtic Balls is live when I was on? Then I got Xena out. I got Xena out 2 times on someone else's live, 2 times successfully. The other time she bit me on the hand, and I said, "All right, you can just stay in there." And there's still blood on the floor from that one, folks. I left it
Yeah,
there on purpose because it's a reminder: you don't go in after 8.
you called him a her again. I just got to point that
Yeah.
out.
It, it's it's hard. I tell you what, like I really like. He's so beautiful, and he's the size of a female. He's huge. He's a big boy. Like I don't. Yeah, he's bigger than my females. Like he's almost. Like I have Chris's female Celeste up here,
Mhm.
and she's a big girl, and Xena's about the same size as her.
Wow.
And yeah, like I mean, you put them in when they were in there, I couldn't tell who was who at first because they're that equal in size. And Celeste, Chris, if I don't know if you're still in here, Chris, but how old's Celeste? She's probably, God, I don't know. She's probably at least 6, would be my guess, 6 or 7, if not older. Rob says he wants to come out and say hi. I think he wants to come out because he knows that the ladies are still there. But needless to say, the ladies want nothing to do with his ass at this point because they are done.
Oh.
They won't even take food. That's how I know they are done. The ultrasound said they are done. They don't want food. So that basically says that timer has popped. So we are good on that. So there will be a bunch of babies out, everybody. So make sure you guys got your enclosures ready because I will be able to fill them. Tara, it is almost 10 o'clock. Is there anything you would like to leave us with before we wrap it up as far as knowledge, things you think are important for people, which is getting into think about or stew on? Is that the right stew on? Just think about, dwell on, ponder, or do you want to show anything off real quick?
So honestly, as a new person getting into this myself, to other people who are getting in or thinking about getting in, please do a lot of research. Make sure you know that you're going to have time for these animals. You do end up collecting them like potato chips. You think you're only going to get one or two, and then the next thing you know, you have a lot.
Yep.
So please, give a lot of thought to what you're planning on doing, and focus on what you like. Don't focus on what everybody else is focusing on. Please do not do that. Go your own route. If you are opening your tubs and you're not smiling and going, "You're amazing," don't pick it up. Pick up stuff that you enjoy looking at, because you may be holding on to these animals, even their babies, for months or years.
Yep.
And if you're not enjoying every time you open that tub, it might not be a good idea to go that route. The really pretty animals sell really well. And if you like it, somebody else is going to like it too.
Yep.
So do your research and absolutely go the route of something that you're going to want to look at every day for the next possibly 30 to 60 years. That is my information to new people. And don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of the breeders out there will absolutely help you out and, share their knowledge with you. It was a little intimidating to first talk to Tom because he is a bigger name in the hobby, and I was kind of shy, but I've learned a lot from him, and he's been a really, really good mentor, and he's helped me out with building the incubator I built. He helped me do that, figure out which way I was supposed to face the heat tape, and it was a lot. But ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Everybody is learning and doing this together, and we all are supporting each other. It's not a one-man show. It's not a one breeder show. Everybody in this hobby is working together for the same goal, which is to love these snakes, to share these snakes with the rest of the world, and to enjoy them for what they are. So
I think that's solid advice.
Especially,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, it's advice that I would want to hear getting into the hobby, because when I was just getting into it, that is stuff that I needed to know.
See, I think that's the one thing people want. Ashley, thank you very much for gifting 5 more memberships. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can't do that here real quick as well, because I think I can gift 5 away as well. Maybe we'll do that here. We'll end the live tonight with that. Get a bunch more members in here, and maybe they'll decide to actually become staying members, because the top tier guys, I think it's the Jungle Carpet tier, you will be getting a code as soon as I get it worked out with Charlie to have a certain % off of your shed testings. So keep that in mind. Plus, you get all the other cool perks as well. Let me see here once. We might hear, you guys might hear some background noise real quick. Just hold on. All right, there we go. All right, hold on here. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Who got the new memberships? All right, Brotherly Love Exotics. See, I don't get to see this on my end. Brotherly Love Exotics got one. Julia MacArthur got one. John from Inkwaline got one. Let's see here. Travis Gordon, TNS Reptiles, JNS Exotics got one as well. Awesome. All right, now let's see here.
Congrats, everybody.
Let me see how I can do this. All right, that's not how I do this. All right, members. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, everybody. Here's going to be 5 more memberships for me this time gifted out. So let's see who gets them this time. And let's see. All right, Benji got one. Awesome. Nathan, a constant. I swear, Nathan gets a free membership every time. Every time it's freaking hilarious. Nathan, I think you're just destined to be a member, dude. Luke got one. Blue Zombie Morphs got one. And Brotherhood Exotic Morphs Mark got one as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I will try to remember to keep doing that, but everybody, hopefully you guys decide to join up. Like I said, we're going to be doing some really nice things this year. So hopefully we can build this to be a very nice community. And then people that do decide to actually purchase and stay on the membership thing, I will add you to the it's kind of like the Discord, quote unquote, but it's just a big group chat between all the members. Helps me just stay in contact with everybody else as well. So what do you got there, Tara? What do you got there? Let me put you up on the big screen.
So we always talk, you and I, about the spiders. And up until recently, I only had one. This is actually our new girl. She is a spider sugar. Let's see if I can get her. There we go. She is a spider sugar mahogany.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous.
Very, very pretty.
So now I have 2 spiders in my collection.
You know, if you wouldn't have went on the VPI route, you could have had a really pretty zebra bee. I do have a zebra bee up on the morph market. Actually, that's another. I'm going to do a shameless plug, everybody. Go check out my morph market. There is some nice TSK stuff up there. No, I'm not getting out of TSK. But there is some stuff up there that I've decided to let go in order to make a slight pivot with my one project. So go check it out. And if you want to make an offer, feel free to make an offer. I mean, you know, I price this stuff to where I think it needs to be, and maybe that's not where it needs to be. I don't know. Let's see here. Benji says invalid benefit. I live alone, so otherwise I would be memberships to all y'all. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, Benji.
And I think Pip asked a question.
Yes. Ashley says, what's the plan for her? Looks like she has some size on her.
She's actually not as big as you would think she is. She fits pretty well in my hand. She's probably 300 grams.
Oh, okay.
But her, eventually we are going to get Hypo and Clown into this mahogany. And with her being a sugar, she'll help, continue my line of sugar, as well as the female sugar that we already currently have. So I'm very, very pleased with owning her. She has been a doll baby for me the entire time we've had her. I haven't had, any issues with her eating. She eats like a champ.
Actually says the camera adds 500 grams.
But
she's pretty.
She's just a stunning animal, and I'm very proud to have her in our collection.
And see, I think that's one thing, like, everybody's out chasing some of these huge new morphs. I think some people just forget how beautiful some of the older combos are. I mean, you figure that's not, I don't mean to say older combos, but that's like not the, I don't know, the newest, hottest thing on the market today. But that is a beautiful animal. There's no denying that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought I thought that had some DG in it because she looks really crisp and clean on the camera. So I was really thinking there was some DG in there as well.
Well, as far as I know, she does not have DG in her.
I said she looks super clean on camera. Like it must just be the sugar or something in there, but very, very clean.
You know, as they say, Jeremy, you always go back to the basics.
Yep, that is true. That is very, very
true. In everything you do, go back to the basics.
Very, very true. And Will says she looks huge compared to my 400-gram girls.
Yeah, she's long, but she's not very fat. So she's more on the lighter side. She's just a long snake.
She's a
long, thin snake.
Ashley says, can she show her off? Oh wait, what are we showing off? The OD vanilla pied, I think is what Ashley.
Him. It's a him. The OD vanilla pie's a boy. He's a very pretty boy.
I could grab him quick. We'll end the note on him then. We'll end this live on a beautiful, beautiful snake. I'll blow you up here once. Put you back up on the big screen.
This is another one that doesn't like me.
Oh, way to go, Ashley! There's gonna be blood at the very end of the movie. Video.
So this guy, we actually won him on the Hold Back Rack podcast that they did for the U.S. Ark.
Okay.
When they did the raffle.
He is pretty. He's got some nice size to him too.
Yeah, he's going to be going this year. So we're really hoping that we get some nice stuff. Well, he's really hoping because, again, I don't really like pied, so.
I know. I was hoping to have a really nice pied clutch because the big pied girl I got from Danny's auction, she's growing follicles and she's getting some nice size to her, but my male, like, he won't lock with her. I don't know if it's because she's like dwarfs him or what. He'll lock with my pastel pied, but he won't lock with the big pied girl. So I don't know. Maybe they're just not compatible. I don't know.
Oh, but he's got some smiley faces on him. He's a very pretty boy, but again, I'm just not really a pied person. Mainly because you start stacking enough in them, you don't even know what's in them. And a lot of the genes I like create a high white pied. So then I'm not really getting to see the genes I like anyway.
That is the one thing I think that's my one thing. Like, I love the low white pieds. The high whites, that's where I start to be like, you know what? I really like, it's not catching my eye because I like to see the pattern. I like to see the contrast. And if all you got is a head with pattern, you're not really getting a whole lot out of it. But all right, Tara. Well, let's end it on that note, dear. And we are going to call it a night. Everybody, make sure you guys hit that like button, please, because Tara, I appreciate you coming on. I know this was probably a little nerve-wracking, like you had said at first. You're a little nervous. We went 2 hours, girl, and I don't think it bothered you one freaking bit either. So thank you very much for coming on. I greatly appreciate your love and support. I appreciate you being a channel member. I appreciate you coming on as well. It does mean a lot to me. Everybody, I'm going to make Tara's video for this week's video. So you were going to get a carpet python video this week of some fun stuff, showing off some stuff as well. So be ready for that. Next week's live, I don't have a guest yet. Just like I said, I've got the scheduling conflict here a little bit, so it's probably gonna be a solo live. But we do have guests planned for March. We've got Danny's live auction coming up in March, so we all know what happens on live
send him
auctions.
Lots of alcohol. Send him lots of alcohol.
Yes, there you go, everybody. Send Danny lots of booze, and it will be a very interesting night. Please do not miss that one. You might get some really good deals. You never know. You're either going to get deals or you're going to get a lot of good laughs. You're one way or the other. It's probably going to be some good laughs at least. I know the last one, I think it will probably go down in the history of probably the most interesting and entertaining live auction to date.
It was great.
If you guys didn't watch that live auction and you want to have a good laugh, it's long, but go back and watch it because it is rather hysterical. Probably about halfway through, it starts getting a little crazy. So go back and watch that, and you guys will all understand what you missed. But yes,
I'm not. Sorry.
What's that, Tara?
I said I'm not gonna lie. When I'm having a bad day at work, I go back and I watch it.
You know what? Okay, just for I did do a limited run of autograph,
very nice
things of that, and that's actually Holly's. I got to get that sent out to her.
Don't forget you gotta sign that skateboard in March.
I will do that. I will make sure that gets signed. Just don't forget to bring it.
Oh, I won't.
I just hope I don't devalue the board.
No, you won't. And thank you, Jeremy, so much for having me on. It's been a great adventure.
It was my pleasure.
I've had a lot of fun.
I'm glad. It was my pleasure. I know you were nervous, and I know you're like, I'm just getting into it. You know, I don't know if I've got a whole lot to talk about. It's like, we got this. I think we got this. And I think from the looks of it, I think everybody enjoyed the night's live as well. Scott here says free booze. But everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Again, Tara, thank you so much for being on. And folks, I will see you next week. Tara, stay on here 1 second. And I'm not going to forget this, guys. I'm not going to forget this because I always forget the outro. But I will catch you next week. Later. That wasn't that was the wrong one.